Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers and welcome new. Hello. Alexa, what's the time please?
The time is 7:39 p.m.
It's 7:39 p.m. Okay. I've just been round to see my mum Jennifer. So I've been round to see my mum Jennifer today. My mum said to me that Jennifer, wasn't very well this morning. Would I like to go up there? So I said yes. It's been pretty quiet round here. I haven't really spoken to anyone that much. I've been keeping myself to myself after that Charlie approached me on the field. And yeah, I've been keeping myself to myself. I think you start to wonder if you make friends with people, that's going to happen again. But I will get back to myself. I will get back to my normal self. I'll go in the co-op during the day. I'll get back to my normal self. It's just taken a while. It took me aback. It took me aback and it set me back, but I'll get back on my feet. And I'm only telling the truth. You should be allowed to tell the truth. He's still walking about, you know. I haven't gone to anybody, I haven't reported him anywhere, I've just talked about it. I'm entitled to speak about it. Right. So a taxi arrived outside my apartments around 12 o'clock-ish or just after. A nice curly-haired, grey-haired chap, nice chap, I've spoken to him before. And he was listening to Prefab Sprout on the radio, an 80s group, and he put that on. He said, "Do you mind if I listen to this?" And I didn't mind him listening to that because I love 80s music. It's one of my favourites. Adamant, Madonna, Toya, Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. I love 80s music. So he was a jolly happy chap this morning, drove me down through Chatham New Road underneath the Luton Arches, and he gets a quarter of the way up to Luton Road, and this lady rings and he answers it on loudspeaker. It was an old lady friend of his that he'd forgotten to pick up. So she rang him up and she said, "Where are you?" And he said to me, "Oh, I've forgotten." And he rang the taxi company and arranged for another taxi to pick this lady up who's got dementia. So we carried on up to my mum's, right up to the big brown bin, and I got out of the taxi. My mum said she wasn't feeling well, she wasn't going to come out to pay the taxi driver. So I walked into my mum's, she gave me the money for the taxi, and I went out and paid the taxi driver myself, got the change, went back into the flat, and my mum was sat down. She looked to me like she was in incredible pain, that she couldn't walk properly, and she looks like she's lost a lot of weight and she was all hunched over. But my mum's a stubborn woman, and when she needs help, she'll tell me. She's a stubborn woman, my mother. She's nearly 80, and she doesn't like people interfering, so I'll help her when she asks me to help her. I sat down, and the TV was on. My mum was sat down, and my mum wasn't very well, so she was very quiet. I sat watching Bargain Hunt on BBC One. I was still a bit pissed off about the mailbox being broken, but I'm going to have to sort that out somehow. I'll find a way to sort it out, but if you haven't got the money, you just can't do it. You've got to wait till you've got the money to get it fixed. So that's as simple as that. So I was feeling a bit like pissed off, not depressed, pissed off. I sat and watched Bargain Hunt. Mum she told me to go and get the takeaway leaflets, to go and get some yuzu drinks. And the air dryer was blocking the French windows. So the dryer, the air dryer was blocking the door. And my mum doesn't normally keep the dryer there. So I asked her if I could move it, so I folded it down and put it back in the bathroom. I was feeling not well myself. The heat, like in this flat, it really gets hot, and I'd been sneezing in the taxi and coughing. I was actually really sneezing and coughing in the taxi. The taxi driver said to me, "Are you okay?" I said, "It's allergies. I get allergic to things and I start sneezing and coughing. I get a tickle in the back of my throat and it looks like I'm choking to death because I go all red and almost purple. But it's just like an allergy. Something tickles my throat, like the pollen, cannabis in the air or something like that. And then I start coughing and choking. But I was all right. Later on, Mum gave me a pen and a bit of paper to get some takeaway meals from Super Pizza. I didn't get a chicken burger. I normally have a chicken burger, but I got a prawn cocktail. Freshly made, obviously, this afternoon. So you've got cucumber, tomatoes, and prawns. So I'm trying to eat healthy. So I got a prawn salad. However, I did get a strawberry cheesecake as well. A piece of strawberry cheesecake. There you go. No pizza, no burger. And I got some coleslaw that I can put in a sandwich. My mum's given me a roast beef dinner for tomorrow. A Kershaw's roast beef dinner, so I've got that for tomorrow. So I'm not hungry. I've ordered my Tesco home shopping as well, so that's coming later on in the week. I'm not starving, I'm not hungry, and my mum helps out. So I've also got 3 Turkish delights. My dad used to like those, Turkish delight. Right. So I had we ordered the takeaway, Super Pizza, the same one every week, the same happy driver as well who speaks to my mum. Flicking through YouTube, watching various things on YouTube. My mum kindly did my washing for me because my washing machine has been broken for nearly 2 years now. So my mum did some washing. I hung it out on her line. Barry was outside working on his white car. Barry, Sue's husband, was working on the car. Mum was like kicking off because my son rang me. I haven't seen my son for months, and my son rang me while I was sat round my mum's, and my son asked me how I was. He mentioned something being horrible, the way things are at the moment is horrible, and he was checking that I was okay because he said he texted me and I didn't answer. I've just been so off and pissed off lately. I hadn't noticed my son's message. So after my son rang, my mum started to get a bit agitated, kept like talking, and she gave me some things. She gave me a lot of food, which I'm grateful for. She gave me some dog food, some cat food, and we had a talk. But I had a massive headache. I smelt cannabis in the building yesterday afternoon, and it made me feel ill, and it brought on a massive headache. And when I got up this morning, that headache was still there. and I also felt sick. So I was sat there, and every time my mum spoke, my head was pounding and pounding and pounding. No one phoned my mum, no doctors, no Charlotte, no one knocked on the door, but I did see Barry round the back of the flat working on his white car. So there was someone there. The takeaway guy came, the same one. He spoke to my mum. He was in a jolly mood. My mum paid him. I enjoyed the takeaway. I enjoyed it. Because I also had a spaghetti bolognese without the cheese. Normally when the spaghetti bolognese comes from other companies, it's got a crust of cheese on it, but I'm in fact allergic to cheese. So the spaghetti bolognese was just cooked perfect. It was just boiled and there was no greasy shit all over it, because I'm trying to watch my weight and stop the cholesterol. So I enjoyed the spaghetti bolognese. It was delicious. It filled me up. Around 4 o'clock it started to spit with rain outside and my washing was on the line. Hold on a minute. Hello, Mum.
Hello.
Hello, Mum.
Good evening, Jeanette. I'm phoning you a bit later because you haven't rung me, although I asked you to. I do understand why, all right? Thanking you for coming up to visit me today, Tuesday, and I'll phone you tomorrow, okay?
Thanks for everything you've given me and done. And Mum,
Sure.
yes, and I did not realise you asked me to call you back. I've had a headache.
That's not your fault. I understand anyway. You know that. But
Yeah.
Jason's a very understandable person and doesn't hold a grudge. So I just,
That's right, and thank you for what you've done and what you've given
well,
me.
that's yours now. You do whatever you like with it, but pay what you think is necessary, okay?
I wasn't talking about the money specifically, I was talking about everything, the food, everything.
Well, that's all right. You know, when I give something, it's yours. It isn't mine, all right?
Thank you, Mum.
So you don't have to pay me back. I never have you?
No, Mum.
And that's how I like things. Okay, Jeanette, so thank you for coming out to visit me. Hope to see you next Tuesday. But I'll be ringing you in the meantime to let you know someone does care, all right?
Thank you for that, Mum.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Good night. God bless.
Good
Bye.
night. Bye, Mum. Right, that was my mum ringing me. She always rings after I've come back to make sure I'm okay. So there is someone there. I've got more than one person I can call if there's any trouble. There's my mum, there's my son, and there's my friend. Okay? So yeah, I came, I saw my washing was on the line and I thought it might be dry, but it wasn't. It was wet. It started raining. I went outside to get my washing off of the line, and then when I came back I fell over. I tripped on some wire and I fell almost flat on my face. I fell forward, but I managed to hold myself back, but I'd actually fallen on my leg, and then I tried to get up and then I twisted my other leg. I got my flip-flop caught in some wire to a lamp. So remember that loose wires across somewhere can cause an accident. I just tripped. I didn't see the wire. My flip-flop got caught in the wire and I nearly fell flat on my face. I was on the floor for quite a while, and I'm a strong person and I couldn't get myself up because I had like 2 bits of wire trapping my legs. And my mum can't help me because she can't get up, she can't walk herself. So I was on the floor for about over 30 seconds trying to get myself up because I was trapped with this wire wrapped round my legs. I've bruised my leg, it's sore, it bloody hurts. It's like stubbing your toe. It fucking hurts, doesn't it, when you stub your toe? It really bloody hurts. So I got trapped in some wire, fell over, got back up, and I broke my mum's lampshade. I fell on my mum's lamp because it was the wire to the lamp that I got caught in, and I fell on the lamp and I nearly fucking fell on my face. And I've had enough teeth broken falling over on my face. I didn't want to lose any more teeth. So I got back up and I stayed with my mum till about 4:45. Mum rang the taxi and they said they were coming in 5 minutes, and they did come in nearly 5 minutes, and it was a Oriental driver, either Chinese or Japanese, and he was very nice. He opened the boot, put my bags in the boot, said goodbye to my mum, and he drove me home to the flat. It was £10.50. I gave him £11. He drove me round the back of the flats. Obviously I can't look in my mailbox because I can't open it, and I got myself into the lift and came up to the first floor, and Max and the cats were okay. They were fine. First thing I did was give the cats some food, give Max some food, put my stuff away. I haven't gone out to the co-op. I haven't been in the co-op this morning, and I've got to sort my mailbox out over the next few days because that's important. I won't be able to see my post. Right, I don't know whether to fit this into the video or do another one. Let's fit this into the video. So I got home around 5 o'clock-ish, I would say, and I don't take Max out to about 10 to 7. So I'd stayed in my flat listening to Imagine Dragons on YouTube, the music. I ate some of the chicken bites that I've got from the takeaway. I made myself a cup of coffee, and it's all very quiet at the moment, okay? And when you're depressed and you feel like you need someone, being in total silence can be horrible. But my mum's just rung, my son's spoken to me today, and I've also spoken to someone else, so I'm fine. But I think it was last night or the other night, I felt bloody awful and really, really depressed. I'm not a nasty person. I don't tell tales. When someone is doing something wrong, you should not be intimidated to shut your mouth. If someone's done something wrong and it's affecting children, or it's affecting you and making you feel miserable, it's invading your privacy and they're disrespecting you, then you have to speak up about it. So I don't think that it's telling tales when you are trying to help kids or you're trying to help yourself, because bullying neighbours can actually make people feel really depressed and unhappy, right? And drugs are bad. If people want to smoke drugs, I've got no problem with that. It's just I don't want them near me, right? I don't want it in the air that I breathe. I don't want it near my home. That's where I live, and I don't like it. If people want to smoke drugs, no problem. That's your body you're affecting. But don't do it to me, because I don't want it. So, around 10 to 7, I left the building with Max. Right, now I've been feeling very, 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 very low lately, because there's been a lot of bullying and a lot of viciousness and horrible behaviour, and I've had to cope with it. Spiteful. So I took Max out and I stood up brave and I stood tall and I walked onto the field. But before I got onto the field, there was that drunk from Chatham, the bald-headed drunk with the funny teeth, sat with a man that looked like my father, but thinner, and Derek's dead. My father, Derek's dead. I went up to see my mother. And this van comes down the road with D-E-E on it. D! And what did my father, Derek, used to call himself? D Trower. So you've got a drunk that looks like my dad, a drunk with a baseball cap on that's blue, and they're swearing. And bear in mind this, women, girls go across that path. It's very intimidating. All I could hear was, he belongs in prison. Because my father used to hit my mum. But I'm not Derek. I'm Jennifer's daughter. Remember the D vans come down? They're talking about a guy that belongs in prison. So I walk onto the field and ignore it, and I don't like it. It must be intimidating for other people sat around this lovely new build area. A couple of drunks swearing, and I walk Max around the field, and then I've got a couple behind me, and he's sneezing. Her-choo! 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 Not joking, I turned round, I thought it was the drunks following me on the field. Curly-haired bloke with sunglasses with his girlfriend. Her-choo! Her-choo! After they've said this bloke belongs in prison. I goes past, I walks around the field, and it's pissed me off. I just wanted to take my dog for a walk, and I've been thoroughly pissed off again. But I don't get angry, I just walk around the field. But this is every time I go up and see my mother, you've got someone making out that I'm my dad. My dad's been dead since 2021. It's horrible. You know, it makes me like shiver. He belongs in prison. He's a scab. He belongs in prison. He's a scab. Swearing and blinding, it's very off-putting. This is a new build area. Why is it attracting drunks? These drunks don't even live here. It's every time I see my mum. The other time I came back from my mum's, they were hanging about. Two of them, two blokes. And remember, I've been getting odd messages off of Flirt Finder as well, from somebody that can't spell properly. So I've come back, I will keep standing up, and I will keep fighting it off by standing up and walking past it, because words are words, right? It's when it gets worse than words, the police will have to do something. People are walking into the co-op, they're stealing. The police aren't coming out. The police don't come out, and these criminals know that. They know the police aren't going to do anything. Now something needs to be done. We pay an element for the police in our council tax. Every one of us that pays council tax, and I pay council tax, is paying for the police. And where are they? Where are they? A police van prior to these drunks on the field was driving up Corey's Road. Prior to me going out and having to face those two drunks, there was a police van going up this road. I've been at my mum's since 12 this afternoon. I've not been in my flat. There was a chair, a discarded chair on the field as well, a chair. I don't know what's been going on today, but I haven't been here since about 4:45. So about 4.5 hours I've been out. So I don't know what's been going on. Well, I've got some food, I've got some money, I've talked to people, I'm feeling okay. right? I don't know where this shit is coming from, that I'm being bombarded with shit first thing in the morning from Instagram. They're going through all my social media. And some people are making silly comments which is attracting other people to it and which is causing trouble. It'll just mean I'll have to make my accounts private. And I like to share my fashion. I like to share my ideas with other people. But you've got a few people trying to spoil it. And I'm not a him, I'm a her, I'm a she, I'm a woman. How many more times? My dad, my son, 6 foot. I'm 5'5". You don't need to pick on a woman. What man picks on a woman? I will continue to hold my head up high. I haven't done anything wrong. See you later.